1. Today we introduce Lecture 2, and this will introduce our first chapter of our textbook, and the first chapter happens to talk about education and student life. Now what we mean by that is that the topic generally that the chapter discusses is of or related to education and student life. The kind of ideas that should cross your mind or you should have thoughts about is, things relating to universities, colleges, studying abroad, studying at home, how to get into a university, how to study in a university, how you consider a university to be good or bad, that kind of thing. So let's imagine that you are going to consider this topic as a topic for your would-be composition. So what are the things that you should do in order to make writing this composition easier and much more organized? What you have to do before you write, and this is an important thing that you have to put in mind, is that the writing process itself is preceded. There are some things to do before you write that would lead you eventually to writing a good piece of composition. So before we write, we usually need ideas. That's a very important thing, and words to express those ideas. So let's say you want to write a topic about space and space travel. Let's say you want to talk to write a topic about let's say education, or school education, or working families, or working mothers, or any sort of interesting topic to you. Before that, you're going to have a list or a bunch of ideas that go through your mind. That's one thing. Another thing that you must have is the words to express them. So let's say you want to talk about, I don't know, hospitals or health care. You would need vocabulary such as hospitals, dispensaries, nurses, doctors, insurance, health insurance, good doctors, bad hospitals, hygiene, and a number of other words that would somehow end up being in your composition. So without those words, you won't be able to get your ideas across, right? So it's important that you have those that list of words that would express your ideas. So if we wanted to write a composition about advantages and disadvantages of studying abroad, for instance, we would need ideas and some vocabulary items to help us out. Now, on page 4 of your textbook, this is a kind of an exercise on page 4 in your textbook that we took a snapshot of and included in the slide just for convenience. So the idea of studying abroad, or the disadvantages or advantages of studying abroad, needs some supporting ideas, needs a list of ideas. You might have many advantages of studying abroad, and you might have many disadvantages of studying abroad. And what you see on this exercise is a list of ideas. 12 ideas. But which of these ideas, you have to think, is most important to you? That's the important thing. Once you begin thinking about writing a composition or an essay, a lot of ideas are going to go through your mind, and you would probably write them down in, let's say, in a kind of a brainstorm manner. They're not organized. And you might end up, when you look at the list of ideas you wrote down, you might end up thinking, well, not all of these ideas are important to me. And some of the ideas that are actually important to me are not of the same importance. Some are more important than others. Now, this is the idea of this exercise. You have a list of 12 ideas. What you have to do yourself is kind of organize them from 1 to 12 according to what is most important, number 1, and what is least important, number 12. Now, when we talk about this, there's no correct answer for this type of exercise, I mean. Because what is important to me can be, what is very important to me, or the most important to me, is the least important to you. So we don't have to agree on the level of importance of these ideas. But just for the sake of an example, let's use red. Let's say, well, let's just read the directions for the exercise. Below are some factors a student might think about when choosing a college. Now, this is totally different. When choosing a college, okay? Which ones are most important to you? Rank them in order from 1, most important, to 12, least important. Now, to you, when you wanted to choose a college, if you want to choose a college, let's say you want to study abroad, you want to study here, at home, regardless, but then again, you have to choose a college that you want to go to. Usually, college here means university. So you have class size, facilities, location, quality of classes, number of international students, special programs, courses offered, cost, ease of admission, prestige, help with job placement, and finally, family connections. Now, if you consider ease of admission to be number 1, meaning what's important to you is getting into the university easily, getting accepted in this college easily, without difficulty. That's the most important thing you want to discuss first. And then, what is least important to you is prestige. And that's number 12. You don't care if a college is prestigious or not. You don't care if people are going to say, wow, this person has graduated from this prestigious university, he must be very smart. You're probably indifferent. Probably don't care. Some people do. But to you, it's number 12. You don't care. Fair enough. Now, from 1 to 12, between 1 and 12, you have a list of ideas. Let's say class size is another important thing, and you consider it number 2. That's a very important factor, very important idea to you. And then you want to look at the facilities the university has, and that is number 3 for you: libraries and laboratories. You really consider those to be very important. And then the list goes on and on. Let's say the courses offered are number 4. The quality of classes is number 5. The number of international students, well, not so. Special program, not so. Cost, number 6. You consider that among the important ideas. Now, up to this point, we've gone halfway. The other 6, such as help with job placement, is number 7. You would think, you know, I would really like that after I graduate, I would find help. It would help me. Graduating from this university would help me get a job. Family connection, you want to be close to your family. And then the location, number 9. Number of international students, number 10. And then special program, number 11. But where's number 12? Right. So these are the lists. This is the list of your ideas that would kind of give you an idea, give you a view of what is most important to you and what is least important to you. Right. Let's move on to the next slide. Those were the ideas. Now, you need a list of vocabulary items that would help you talk about this, to help you write about this. So, you need words such as attendance, campus, disadvantage, facility, faculty, location, preference, prestige, scholarship, student body, prefer, challenging, diverse, huge, impersonal, and prestigious. Well, the upper banner here isn't quite clear, but here you have a list of nouns on this side. And you have a list of verbs on this side and adjectives on this side. So what you need here, what you see here, is a list of vocabulary, but not of one kind. Notice that you have nouns, verbs, and adjectives. You can't write a whole composition just by using nouns. You need nouns, and you need verbs, and you need adjectives, and adverbs, and prepositions, and what have you. But you need those content words in order to get your idea across. So, don't take the issue of vocabulary items lightly. You have to take them very seriously, because vocabulary builds up bit by bit. over time, your vocabulary increases and accumulates. Taking it very lightly would result in you ending up not being able to express your thoughts. Well, at least not being able to express your thoughts very well. So, please consider those very, very seriously. Now, what you should do is kind of fill in these spaces yourself with more vocabulary items that relate to your composition. Let's move on to the next slide. Advantages of a large or small college. This exercise is on page 6. Now, in this exercise, it's kind of giving you an opportunity to express your ideas in 1 or 2 sentences. So let's say there are advantages of a small college and there are advantages of a large college. What you're asked to do here is sit back and think about the advantage of a large college, the advantages of a large college, in 1 or 2 sentences. And at the same time, once you're done with that, think of the advantages of a small college. So I've written an example sentence here, which was actually written by one of the students in a previous course. She wrote, a large college might have many departments to choose from. Another sentence or another advantage would be a large college might have more facilities. And I liked when she used might have. She's not sure, because it's not necessarily true that a college might have more facilities. Could be, could not. And then she wrote, a small college might have better teachers. And in another idea, a small college might ask for less tuition. So these ideas are expressed by the same person, by the same student. So it kind of gives you some training as to changing your opinion regarding one topic. Let's say you're supportive of large colleges, but that doesn't mean that you can't see the advantages of small colleges. You should be able to see that. Right. Moving on to our next slide. So after you write down all your ideas, such as in the previous slide, after you write down all your ideas, you now have to organize. It's a very important bit. Organize these ideas so that the person who reads your composition would be able to understand what you're writing about. You can do this by writing about the most important ideas first. Then write about the less important ones. So let's say you have your ideas, you have the list of important vocabulary items that you want to include in your composition. Now, how do you begin? How do you organize that? How do you organize that further? So what you do, basically, is you organize your ideas from most important to the least important. That's a strategy that you have to work on. Now, In addition to that, in addition to stating your idea, you also have to give reasons. And that's additional information. You have to tell the reader why your idea is good, or why this idea is bad, or why this idea is something that the reader should give some thought to. So giving reasons strengthens your idea and gets your idea across. So one important strategy is to use in your composition is giving reasons to support your idea. And let's say this example right here, a large college might have many departments to choose from. That's the idea. And the reason for that, the reason why I think that is, if it's a large college, then it would have more money to accommodate more departments. So that's telling the reader why I thought of the idea above. Okay? So my idea was a large college might have many departments to choose from. Okay? But why did I think that? Why do I believe that a large college might have more departments? The reason for that, for me thinking of that, is my belief that a large college might have more money to accommodate more departments. That's telling you why I believe that. Okay? So giving reasons. Now we're going to stop here before we move on to the next lecture. Thank you for listening, and move on to lecture 2, please.